Hello, it's Sunday. I am here with you guys, and it is always a good day when that happens. So, we are going to cover some Breyer news today. I have their mid-year releases that they put up, as well as the open show overall championship prize that they revealed for BreyerFest. So, we'll cover that for Breyer. There's a cute little donkey I want to show you guys from the site that maybe you haven't seen before. I don't know how new it is, but it's adorable. And we'll go into studio stuff, and then we're going to rant about how the hobby is all-consuming and filled with glorious rabbit holes. All right, let's get started with some Breyer stuff. Okay, so Breyer put out a mid-year reveal, which we were kind of expecting. They generally do this in about this time of year, right after all the BreyerFest stuff starts kicking off, like the ticket sales and things. All the reveals are done. So we have a Dundee, done in an Appaloosa, Bay Appaloosa with a little bit of cool varnishy flecking, it looks like a little dusting of white, unless that's not intentional, but I think it is because it has the little spots on its butt, which would be kind of a nice little feature, a nice touch. Modeling on the face, you have your traditional Appaloosa style stuff, striped feet. The modeling is really good. They are getting really good at stuff like that, which is kind of fun. So this is Mr. Shining Gun, known by many as Goose, and a fantastic ambassador of the Appaloosa breed. Goose is truly a member of the family. He competes with 3 generations of his owners, the Jerkovskis. Aha. This special connection has resulted in numerous titles and championships in both youth and open level events. In 2019, Goose was inducted into the Appaloosa Horse Club Hall of Fame, making him one of only 17 geldings to achieve the honor. Get to know him at Midsummer Fair, which is BreyerFest for this year. He'll be attending as one of the guest horses, which is super cool. And then I have a soft spot for Breyer Fleabit Greys. So we have a Fleabit Grey here, which is super cute. We don't see this mold very often. Pops up every once in a while. So this is named the Pacifino Association's Hall of Fame inductee, Caparicio del Richelieu, maybe? Accumulated more than 3,000 lifetime show points and is a multiple national championships over his 16-year career from the age of 3 until his well-earned retirement at 19. So showed until 19, that's not bad. Competed in both open and amateur classes. In general, don't specify what kinds. Always captivating audiences with his lightning-fast, powerful gait. Then they do have collector Dalmatian's new Trakehner Stallion in Seal Bay, American Paint Horse Stallion in Chesto Novaro, and a box of mini pets, which is kind of cute. So yeah, super sweet. We don't see this mold used very often, like I said, so I quite like anything in Fleabit Grey by Breyer. That's quite nice. Probably won't be adding either of these to my own collection. I'm trying to be quite picky these days, but they are both cute. So that is fun. People are getting quite excited about them. They do have a Pride Month giveaway as well, up on the website. I don't know when that's good until Monday. So you can still enter if you wanted to enter, and that gets you one of the, if you win it, obviously, the what did they call him? Come on, brain, we can do this. Random winner, whatever that unicorn's called. I have no idea because my brain is Swiss cheese these days. So yeah, really cool purple and blue tones in it. It has this interference kind of purpley blue over top. I've seen one in person. They look really cool. So that's kind of fun. They did the overall reveal for overall BreyerFest Open Show Championships. That's this guy. So it's a Wyatt in a, I'm assuming because of the modeling, LP varnish roan kind of color. Varnish roan's a very odd color to try and capture, but kind of cute. I saw some lower quality photos earlier and it didn't read quite the same, but now seeing it blown up a little bit, I do like speckle. I don't know why. It's like paint splatters and my brain's like, I'm so happy. It's not hard to please me. Colors and splatters, apparently. And shiny. I like shiny too. So yeah, let's go find out some more information with this guy. They did post a very weird, hard to guess photo of him. So I don't think anybody guessed that it was Wyatt. This also knocks Wyatt out most likely for the surprise horse. So that's made a lot of people mad because they wanted him as a surprise horse. This is Svalbard. It's a grouping of Norwegian islands that lie in the Arctic Ocean between Norway and the North Pole. Santa's Appaloosa is one of the most northernmost inhabited areas in the world, and while it was used as a whaling outpost in the 17th and 18th century, it was not permanently settled until the 20th century. With a population of just about 3,000 people, these islands are a popular tourist destination for people seeking out the rustic Arctic beauty and are home to a number of research facilities as well. So to pay homage to this incredible archipelago, they like using big words. They're probably just trying to mess me up while I talk about these things. We're invited, excited. See, messed me up. I need more coffee. Excited to, I've lost my place, introduce this year's Open Model Horse Show Overall Championship Prize, Svalbard. Done on the gaming stock horse mold number 730 in a stunning chestnut varnish Appaloosa. See, I only had to read to know what color it was, but why not guess first? Only 14 lucky champions will have the opportunity to add this exquisite model to the herd. So, cute modeling on his face. He's got a very sweet eye. Why it's quite a cute mold. And then I do like the color now that it's up close. Little stripy feet. Very cute. Yeah, for whatever reason, I didn't think it's this the jarring kind of coloration. And I know varnish roans can have some crazy jarring coloration, but for that stripe in particular down his barrel was like, especially in the low res photos, my brain was like, what is it? Don't understand. But he does look better like this because he's splattery. See, splatter makes things better. Mess makes things better. So yeah, hopefully some of you guys win that model because that'd be kind of fun. They generally are worth quite a bit. And then this is the donkey. I don't know if I missed the boat entirely, but they have a really cute donkey that I might need to add to my collection because that's really cute. I don't know who sculpted that, but it's adorable. That is a very hot colors, gold colors. Anyway. And $7.99. You can't beat that for a horse. So that's fun. Breyer closed their BreyerFest selection choice for tickets. So if you buy a ticket now, they will have either a wild card or a random special run, depending on if you're in person or online. In person, you get to pick from what's available. Online, you get shipped to whatever random thing they decide to give you that day. So if you wanted to pick your horse, you missed the boat. So you'll have to either buy them on the secondary market or hope that you get the one you're looking for. You can still get a ticket to get in either to the park or online and enjoy the festivities. And of course, you're not obligated to buy the thing if you don't like it. If you get a well, technically, I guess you are, because a wild card would probably show up in your cart as a wild card, maybe? I don't know if they do that. I'm not, okay, I can't say words because I don't know how they do that, because I normally pick my thingies and buy my ticket just in time, which I did. I selected the Wanderer because it's a fire heart, and then I selected the Wanderer, which is the Fireheart, and Surprise were my two that I want. So we will see what I end up getting. I had a couple of, there's only 4 choices for online, so that kind of sucked. I was like, that's it? Where are the other picks? Because they're all in person. I don't like that. But anyways, it's okay if there's like 1 or 2, but having half of them kind of was not my favorite thing. But anyways, we have a whole bunch of people in the chat, so I'm gonna say hi to people before I rant on more about Breyer. Get myself in trouble because I'm like, Julie, hello, welcome to the stream. Good morning, Laura, or good afternoon because we're the later one. I pushed it later because we were having breakfast and trying to enjoy a little bit of the weekend. There's a few things that we have to do around the house and stuff, so I wanted to make sure we were well fed before we continued on with our adventures. And it's nice to switch up the times every once in a while because I know some of you can join better in the afternoon. Gemma, hello, Gemma, joining from YouTube. Welcome. Amy, good morning. My crop top today. Oh no, hopefully your crop top hangs in there. My computer actually decided that it was going to reset itself the last couple of days in the middle of the night, so I think it's trying to update things. And then when it does that, my monitor, which is the 32-inch Cintiq, doesn't always link properly. So then it's like, come on, link to the computer. And then I had to reset the computer to actually make it link. It's frustrating. I don't know why it does that. It does that. Hey, we have Andrea. Hello, Andrea. Ooh, drunk stickers. I like that. I should try that. Love that mold. Old mold. Oh, the Peruvian, yeah, the Pasifino. Pasifino's quite nice. It's just a soft, kind of gentle mold, which is quite cute. Momo, hello, welcome. We have awesome people. Robin, hello. Abigail, hello. You too. Good morning, afternoon, wherever you are. Terry, oh hi, welcome. Let's see. Amy says, I too like the color and the sparkles and shiny. Yes, I like all those things. Sarah, hello, welcome, Sarah. Kimberly, hello, everybody. Hello, back to you, Kimberly. Welcome to the stream. I know, right? The donkey's so cute, Terry. I was like, how did I miss this? We were actually in one of our hangouts, I think the last hangout that we did, and there were some really cute other brands, and Caitlin was the one that suggested them. Let's see. I can't remember the brand. It'll probably pop up because we were talking about how there's like Mojo, there's Schleich, there's a whole bunch of different brands that you kind of run into. Papo has models. There's been some really good additions to all of these different lines. They're definitely upping their quality for the most part. I can't remember what the name was of the one I was thinking of. There's a really nice Clydesdale. And of course it's not. Shoot. Should be in my list somewhere, I would imagine. Yeah, and so they're basically upping their quality, which is really cool. And then every once in a while there's a hidden brand that's like, where did that come from? That's super cool. I can't talk, but it's super cool. Oh goodness. Maybe it's not coming up that way. Anyway, if I can find it. Oh, there we are. Mojo. So the Mojo brand. Let's go over here. Stuff that kind of catches you off guard. So this Welsh pony is actually reasonably nice for like $11. It's not bad. Painted a different color would probably be quite nice. And then Mojo had other stuff. Like there's a little Arabian foal from Mojo. Their Clydesdale is the one I'm thinking of. Some of it's not bad, but it's kind of cool to see that there's different options. Let's see if I just do this. We're going on a. Speaking of rabbit holes, we're going down a rabbit hole. So there's a Mojo Clydesdale. Oh, it didn't follow. Hold on. I will bring you back. There we go. Ooh, there's a Mojo Iguana. So their Clydesdale's not bad. They got a couple of them. So there's this one. They have it in Clydesdale color over here. And then they've got a bunch of different other horses. Safari's not bad. That's kind of the middle one's kind of fun. Looks like a bronze sculpture or something. I don't know where it went. They had a better one. Mojo. So some of theirs aren't too bad. But there's definitely a Clydesdale. The little foal's actually quite cute, that Shire foal in the middle. And there's the Welsh that we were talking about. Their Suffolk Punch is actually reasonable. So if you're looking for like a Schleich type brand, kind of budget friendly stuff, Mojo's a brand to look at that I'd never heard of before. Of course, it's getting into collected because Breyer's like, we're paying money. There's a Tinker. Quite cute. Hello? Oh, okay. I just didn't want it to be a stranger walking into the house. So yeah, they have some cool stuff. There's, well, that's a rearing Schleich. That's their spirit-like thing. Anyways, we won't go on too far of an adventure, but they've got a cute donkey, another cute donkey, a really cute baby donkey. It has no neck, and it is my favorite thing. So anyways, it's a whole rabbit hole of other brands to go down, but yeah, super, super fun. We were talking about that in the hangout that we were doing, and it was very neat. Stuff that surprises you. You're like, I didn't even know. I don't even pay attention to these brands. Let's see. Sorry, total side adventure. Libby, hello, welcome. Brenda, hello. Donna, hello. Perfect. See ya, good luck. So yeah, that derailed my brain entirely, but we're doing a thing. I have no idea where I am anymore. Who am I? Where are we? So yeah, Breyer did a thing, and then I found a donkey, and it just took us down a rabbit hole. But we're back now. So yeah, that is what Breyer's been up to, and apparently Mojo and collect up, but it's model horses, anything horse shaped, right? And we're all like, oh my god, let's just go down that rabbit hole. Speaking of the Lily Ashcroft expedition has proceeded through the Mediterranean, and it was very challenging. All those boxes and things have all gone out. Your envelopes have gone out. I think I still need to send email notifications to sticker members just to let you know that your stuff has shipped out. A little bit late this month. It kind of between all the things that happened, ran a little bit behind, but we are back on track mostly now. And I'll be reaching out to club members about your store credits for everybody that has hung in there with me through the transition and all that good stuff. So stay tuned for that and the final step of the process, and then we will be all good to go on the new system. So that'll be kind of cool. But we proceeded past the Mediterranean and met our adorable little hippocampus, dragonette inspired, which is kind of fun, and now proceeding more Greek way, so that should be fun. I'm excited for that. I won't spoil too much of what's in your field notes that breaks down all of the goodness that, tiny package form, all the goodness that we are finding along the way. It's so hard not to write about everything. It pit stopped along the road in Alexandria, and I was like, oh my god, the library, I need to research that. So I did. And I'll probably do an aside on that at some point because that's too cool not to address in some way, but I'm trying to keep it as horse focused as possible while still acknowledging some of the cool stuff that's happening. I definitely need to write more about this stuff because it is too fun. I'm having the best time ever. So what will we find in Greece? I don't know. Maybe we'll find cool stuff. Generally speaking, probably we'll find cool stuff. So this next Sticker Club box will contain something fantastical. And then we will move on to the June-July box for the Medallion Club and the June-July, or the July sticker for the Sticker Club. And that will be historical realistic. So for those of you people that like to geek out about historical kind of cool breeds, this is going to be a fun one. So I'll leave it at that for what the club's up to. I closed the pre-orders for Mr. Gary. Sorry, Lord, Sir Gary, first of his name. He's now upgraded to Lord because everybody loves him, so he gets to be a lord. I was enjoying the derp shark in the ad because he has his little head like popping up on the bottom of the screen. So he is off to the Ops for casting, and so these pre-orders did close, but he will open again for BreyerFest. So there will be another opportunity if you weren't able to hop in for the pre-orders to get him later. He will not come with the pre-order sticker, the legendary sticker, or the $20 discount, but he will have his other sticker, which I will reveal at BreyerFest, that will come with him and all of his Gary glory. So there's that. So yeah, if you missed him, there's another opportunity. There will also still be paid in full options and time payment options. I'll be reaching out to everybody who placed orders, letting you know kind of what the deal is going to be, and we'll know timeline kind of when the Olps get them in hand and are able to assess how long that mold's going to take and get casting him and all that good stuff. So thank you all for all of you who adopted him. He's done, like, we're into the second mold now, so that's really exciting because right now it's hard to sell anything even to justify one mold. So I greatly appreciate your excitement over our little tail standing wonder, but yeah, it's even fun. So yeah, he is doing that, and there will be more fun stuff to come for BreyerFest, which is approaching far too quickly for my liking. So yeah, pray for all of us preparing for BreyerFest because we are not okay. And I'll probably have another, well, I will have another event that will line up with the Medallion Gala show in September, which is coming on Hips. And that is, it's an all medallion show that will cover, all medallions. There's an opportunity for busts and clinky medallions to participate as well. There's cool prizes that we're doing, some exclusive medallions that are being sculpted for the event, and Sasha and I will both be doing a sale with items that will correspond with the show. And then that's, like I said, in September. It is online only through OMHAPS. So OMHPS, there's a little logo in the middle there. If you wanted to screenshot the screen and then follow the QR code later, you can. I will also be posting this on my website as a banner, and I posted about it before, so if you look up Medallion Gala on Facebook, it should pop up, or I think it should pop up on Instagram as well, and then Sasha's post about it as well. So if you're looking to participate and have cool stuff, we have some other cool things that are planned that will align as well, so stay tuned for more information about that. It's all going to be wild and wonderful, and I'm just so excited for all of it. So yeah, that is what we are up to, so you can kind of prepare yourselves. Prepare for the invasion. I'm not prepared. Andrea, speaking of Hangouts, is there a schedule out for June? Not yet. I just am working on that now, so I'll be sending that out to club members with your information for the last step of the club and the credits and stuff too. I'm being throttled a little bit with the emails in the new system, so I'm trying to navigate around that. So hopefully that sorts itself out a little bit better shortly here. And then you'll know kind of what we're doing. And then the workshop as well for club members for hair, because we're going to do a fun mane that'll kind of be all tussly and give you an example of how to sculpt hair on a flat area and not make it look flat, and also have hair that stands up. So that's kind of the stepping ground to get to crazy, wild, ridiculous hair. If you want to do really long stuff or flowing in the wind, it's kind of a little bit of a safer option. Great foundation to start from if you're looking to start hair for the first time, or doing like a flip in your hair, or lifted parts, or a mohawk, or however you want to do that. So, Lizzie, hello, welcome. Lizzie says, I'm not prepared for BreyerFest to be coming up. I know it. How is it halfway through June almost? This is ridiculous. This is not allowed. I don't even understand what is happening. But yeah, check on your BreyerFest artist friends because we're not okay or prepared. I agree. I'm not even participating officially in the normal activities. I was too late to enter in the Artisans Gallery virtually, and where is the time going? I don't know. So yeah, that is cool. Looks like everybody was having a good time with how checkouts and things worked with the new website, so that is exciting. Discounts seem to work really well for the people that were using their club codes, which will be automatic going forward once everything is switched over to that new system. Um, I have never in my life been able to experience or anticipate as many problems as have happened with trying to get these sites going. There is so much that goes on in the back end of a website, it is ridiculous. So hopefully I never have to move anything ever again in the history of the planet because you know what? Oh, yeah, I'll be very, very pleased when we're through this. As I'm sure will you guys. But it's really nice because it's definitely worth the struggle with all the different new things that are available with the way the site works through Shopify. So I am at least excited for that. Yay. All right. So what else do we got? And once that's all done, so I'd assume in the next little bit, I'll have all those stickers available as well, and some older resins that I have multiple copies of that are my artist copies that I don't seem to be customizing or doing anything with. So there will be some opportunities to get some cool pieces here shortly. Aww. Amy or Andrea says, I'm excited to hear about or learn about sculpting hair. I have an ish body, want to sculpt some fun hair on, and I have to learn how to do it first. It can be a little intimidating, and it's a really frustrating thing for a lot of people because I think it's challenging to get the feel of. So I'm going to go over a whole bunch of tips and tricks on how I do it and kind of make it easy for you guys to really make something that you're excited about and, like I said, build that foundation to build something really cool. Donna feels like a weird time warp. It's going so fast. To all you BreyerFest artists, may all do well and get your preparations done in time. So, yeah. All right. Now that we've done that, I didn't hit the studio update button. That's okay. We're going to go right now. We haven't had the ability to do a rant in a little bit, and it's not really a rant. Well, it kind of is a rant. But the little like carrot pony is my favorite thing, and it makes me so happy inside. There's stuff in life that you need in your life just because it makes you happy inside, like splatter on a Breyer pony, or random flowers and stupid stuff and colors and sparkles and I don't even know. So yeah, we are going to talk about rabbit holes specifically, and this is perfectly timed, I think, for BreyerFest because we're all going into like the intensity that is BreyerFest, and it also is a really good reminder of why we're here in the hobby and what the hobby has to offer and an opportunity to take advantage of all of those things. So I had to make notes because this is a very big, crazy topic because it's a rabbit hole. So it has to be crazy, right? Um, so I titled it Rabbit Holes, like the hobby, like model horses is all consuming because it is. It's like you go and you think you're just buying one model horse, or somebody buys you one model horse, and then all of a sudden you're like, now my whole life has changed, my career has changed. I am now like spending all my time focused on horsey little things, and it feels normal to me, but it's super weird for everybody else around me. So I don't know. Can you guys relate? I think so. So yeah. So generally the hobby slip, it starts innocently. You get your first Breyer. So Maddie gave me my first Breyer and was like, here's Breyer catalog. And then 20 years later, I'm like sculpting horses for Breyer, and it's crazy. So I don't know. It's led me to a whole bunch of different, it's like rabbit hole appreciation posts. Led me to a whole bunch of different micro hobbies within the hobby. So there's a lot of different little things like collecting leads you to wanting to have a better display to, oh, well, now I'm seeing all these people make these awesome barns and I want to make a barn too and put my horses in little cute stalls, and that's a whole rabbit hole of like miniature world ridiculousness that is ridiculously awesome. Don't get me wrong, but it's like definitely a rabbit hole. Like I have a eventing display that was made. I have 4 quarters tack, and then Oh my goodness. Why do I not remember who made my base? Uh, Tabletop, maybe? Studios? Oh goodness. I apologize profusely that I've forgotten who made the gorgeous base that I have. But anyways, stuff like that. And you're like, oh, now I want more setups and like leave my horse in pretty tack and do all sorts of cool stuff. And then you have like, oh, I just happened to one day try the International Tack Month contest thing challenge. Like, I made a saddle. That actually looks like a saddle. What? And it's the same techniques and things that you would use on a larger saddle in a lot of ways, like your leather working and your dyeing. So these skills are, and my brain loves this when it can collect skills and abilities and then they can scale. Now I'm like, I should make Turbo a saddle. That'd be fun. Because why not, right? Buy $5,000 worth of supplies and make a thing maybe one day in 30,000 years. But super cool. Like you can just do stuff. And the hobby has kits for things, and you can take workshops and classes. And BreyerFest is a really good opportunity to learn how to make new stuff. They used to do a lot more hobby geared stuff, like more practical, general skills. And now it seems to be a little bit more kind of like themey based. And I don't know. I don't know what happened in the BreyerFest Breyer world that they've kind of gone off course a little bit. But anyway, they still offer some stuff that is very applicable. I guess over the years you got to change things up a little bit too. And then there's learning real horse anatomy and color genetics and how patterns work. A lot of times model horse people know this stuff more in depth than real horse people. And then you're like, oh, that's a whatever color. This is my white horse. And you're like, actually, that's a Perlito. And they're like, I don't even understand what that means. It's kind of funny. And you're like, oh yeah, let me just explain that. Maybe that's the neurodivergent autistic thing. Probably is. But most of us probably are that, because I saw an article that said that if you had an imaginary horse pet or friend as a kid, then that's a test for, or like highly indicative, they've included in some tests for if you are neurodivergent and autistic spectrum people, because that doesn't rule out basically the whole hobby. But anyways, um, there's photography and lighting, because you need to be able to photograph things. There's the storytelling component where people take their Breyers and now they're writers and making things in the real world, which is crazy to me. There's sewing and fiber arts. You can learn how to bead. You can learn how to braid. I have been having a little side adventure because Bobby inspired me from Horse Tender Studios. And I'm like, I should make tassels. Why not? Some of them are ugly tassels. You can see like the big knot on the one. I was struggling to try and figure out how to do that and not make it suck. But we got kind of there. There's even tiny little beads that are ridiculously small on the backs of these things. Like if you look at my finger, there they go. It's like super, super tiny. So now I'm like, oh, well, now that I've done little braid things, now I need to, because I've always wanted to do, these are drop stuff. I've always wanted to do the braiding at hobby scale that transfers over like the pineapple knots and things, but it's always been too small for me. And then I have like little braided cord that I'm working on for the side of the presentation set. And then my brain's like, now I have to, I went down a whole rabbit hole, because it's a rabbit hole, of, okay, now that I have a braid, how do I make an accurate braid? And it's not just one big braid that makes an Arabian presentation side of the halter. They have multiple cords that are basically like woven in and sewn in together. So I was like, well, now I have to do individual strands because it won't look proper if it's the other way, because my brain's like, how do I make this as hard as physically, mentally possible? That is how you do that. So this is my TV activity while we are watching shows together. I'm braiding and making tassels, apparently. And then that led to a whole other rabbit hole of, okay, well, now I need a little tiny crochet hook because, you know, making thread go through places is really hard. And yeah, so that's the thing. Plus, shiny. And the beads are shiny too, so there's that. Um, let's see. Andrea, my first Breyer I purchased as an adult was my gateway to the hobby, was Prism. Randomly popped up somewhere in an ad. Since I love horses and color, he was perfect to start my collection. That's awesome. Very cool. And it's neat to see what people's first kind of gateway drug was, because I had a action. So the one horse Maddie gave me was a action stallion in leopard Appaloosa. And my great grandparents raised out Appaloosas and prized their leopards. So, and then that led to the classic Moody Shire, and then that led to Strapless was my first traditional purchased myself kind of horse. Which was super fun. And yeah, Amy says one day it's friends bringing out their stablemate from a pencil box on a rainy day at recess, and the next thing you know, you built your studio space around them, customize them, and the next BreyerFest is all you talk about. Slippery slope, all consuming. It's like, it doesn't feel like, from my perspective, when I talk to people, that it is as all consuming as it is, but then people are like, what do you do for work? I sculpt model horses. And then they're like, what do you do for fun? I do things with model horses. What do you do for vacation? BreyerFest sometimes, and model horse shows, and go places where I can take references for my art and my models. It's like, yeah, that might be my special interest, I think, a little bit. So yeah, there's definitely lots of really cool rabbit holes, but this is kind of opening some things back up where it's nice with BreyerFest because you can go back in, and if you're feeling burnt out in an area, you can super easily find another niche. That could be doll making, it could be prop making, it could be like 3D modeling to do something for model horses. And there's so many different ways and skills and hobbies and real world stuff that can integrate. Like, you can learn CAD and all these programs from doing stuff for models. You can learn molding if you end up getting into things the right direction, leatherworking, braiding, like all this stuff can be scaled up and down, which is super cool. Um, Storytelling, like all this stuff is just it's such a wide, wonderful world of different like micro niches and rabbit holes to dive into. And then, like I said, you go into one little thing and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna make a couple tassels and maybe make an Arab halter. And then I'm like, oh, I should buy a mini crochet hook, and oh, you can like mini crochet beads and all sorts of crazy stuff. And now my brain's like, I want to do an Indian costume, and I want to do other things, because I like the tack. That's kind of when I started getting into model horses. I definitely didn't think I could sculpt, definitely didn't think I could customize, and definitely didn't think I could paint. So I was like, I will start by making halters for my horses. And the tack component kind of interested me because I felt like the horse part was just totally off limits. And I still really enjoy it. Like, I have a whole bunch of the Rio Rondo kits. I have a whole bunch of supplies that I've collected over the years to kind of dive into that a little bit more, because I do really enjoy it. It's really fun. And then you can kind of make your models your own and have that performance end of things, which can be a little bit more involved than putting your horse on a table to just show it in halter type classes. So I think that can be a little bit more of a deep dive. The people that do the pedigrees and genetics is kind of fun. That's an area that I've never really jumped into myself, but lots of people really enjoy that. But the barn thing is also like eating my brain. I want to make a barn so bad. I don't know if it's just me. And it's like a resurgence of all these people making barns. And I'm like, no, stop, or make me one, because it's so cool. So yeah, tons and tons of different places to dive in and explore. It's such a deep, like, rich hobby for the different things that you can kind of get into. Like, even the doll thing, making clothes for the dolls. That can lead you to fashion dolls and fantasy type dolls. And there's a whole world of that, and wonderful skills and things to learn in that area. And I don't know if it's just me, but I like diving into something and then finding all the relevant things in regards to it. So the Arab halters was, okay, model horse Arabian halters, and then real world Arabian halters, and then beading and braiding and real world tack and craziness, and then art beading stuff. And it's just, my brain's like, overclocked, but loving it, loving every second of it. Like, oh my god, how many more things are there? Oh, it's a new rabbit hole. I even was like this morning going through and I found a little like beading crochet tutorial with 15-0/0, 15 beads, which is really, really small, smaller than those ones. And I was like, at the same time as being overjoyed that I found something so cool, I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, I should stop. I can't stop. And then kept going. Because, yeah, fine. Let me see here. What else is in my notes? Let's see. So those are all the different areas that, well, not all of them entirely, but like I've sculpted doll heads for dolls. I want to do more of that. I actually bought a few bodies off of a local collector to play with that. And then there's so many things. Huh. Well, yeah. So if you need to get reinvigorated with a hobby, just go find a little side niche that tickles your fancy. You can even do historical study and apply that to performance setups or tack or stories with your models or whatever. There's so many things, so many wonderful avenues. Yeah, so and everything is like surprisingly deep. It's like crazy. Why is my watch thing going crazy? Are you guys texting me at the same time? I don't know what's happening. Somebody's like, "You're on mute," and you have been for 20 minutes ranting into silence. So yeah, and I definitely didn't. The wonderful thing is you can fall into these amazing things, like even doing a diorama display. There was a I can't remember the name of the lady, but there was a lady when I first got into the hobby that was doing these gorgeous resin setups of like beaches and water and fish, and you could put your horse on it. I'm like, oh, I want to try one of those. It's so cool. Just we have such cool people in the hobby and such cool talents, and I just want to like enjoy all of it deliciously because that's not weird at all. You guys get it. But yeah, I didn't. You don't even know what you're gonna fall into that might be the next crazy thing for you. Like for me, I didn't anticipate falling into model horses and becoming an artist that does things that are enjoyed around the world and will be forever after I'm dead because it's permanent and plastic, and Breyer will keep selling it well past my due date or best before date or whatever. So yeah, kind of cool. It's like some sort of weird unicorn immortality, and I didn't even know that model horses existed at one point. So kind of cool. So yeah, what did you guys fall down that was the craziest rabbit hole in the hobby? Because that there's just so many, and I'm probably missing some. So let me know in the chat what you guys have found because that's not something that like trying even to list all of them has been challenging. So yeah, very cool. And like I do love that the skills are scalable and transferable to different areas, like the organization stuff, categorizing genetics. Like with model horses, it led Leslie Katzman into the genetic end of things, which is kind of cool. You never know what it's going to do. Laura says, being old, my first horses were Bonanza, the one with the wheels on feet. Oh, so cute. Donna used to take all my Breyers to the show and tell at the grade school. Now I show my collection off to my adult friends and I tell them about customizing and stuff, which is so cool. I was actually talking with somebody at the show and we were talking about bringing out horses and how it's kind of hard to predict because we don't have judging standards of what's going to necessarily place. But I personally think about going to shows as show and tell. Like, I bring my ponies there, not for them necessarily to win everything. That's kind of cool if they do. It's kind of a neat thing. But I like to bring them so people can see them and I can see other people's horses because that's the cool part because we all enjoy the same thing. We can talk about the same hobby. We can go, oh, I love how that was done on that horse. And oh, I've never seen this done before this way, or I love that way the sculptor sculpts eyes, things like that. Or that like saddle set is incredible. Look, you can't even see any glue on it. Like it's just gorgeously made. That doll is really cool. Look at the costume on it. Like there's so many cool ways to interact and really fill the hobby with so much richness that I think the in-person events definitely are something that you need to try and attend if you haven't before because They're super cool. And there's lots of ways to interact online, but it's not the same as being socially awkward in a room with a whole bunch of other people that are also socially awkward and talking about the thing you love. So, kind of fun. Laura used to make all my own tack, and that's how a lot of people start too. I actually wrote a blog article that I'll be posting shortly about, especially with the economy the way it is, how to kind of economy bust. Is that the right word? But ways to like take advantage of that, because that is what pushed me into model horses myself, because I couldn't afford to buy customs that were crazy. I couldn't afford to buy resins. I couldn't afford to pay somebody to paint stuff for me, and I couldn't afford somebody to make tack for me. So I was like, I guess I have to do it myself, which was a good motivating factor to get into making things myself, and now look what it's turned into. So you never know what it's going to start like spark inside of you, because it's kind of fun. You might try like a Rio Rondo kit one day and be like, I actually really enjoy this. Not necessarily suggesting you make everything your like career hobby, but it might lead you to something cool, or even side adventures in the real horse world that you never knew about. So oh yeah. That blog article will come out shortly here within probably the next couple weeks if you're interested. But it touches on kind of how I use that as momentum in different ways that you can kind of save money in this sort of economy and do some things yourself and maybe push yourself out of your comfort zone, because there might be a resin on your shelf you can paint yourself, or you might be able to paint your portrait of your horse yourself on a Breyer, or take a model that has a whole bunch of rubs and learn how to fix it, and then you can do some restorations to stuff, or you never know where it's going to lead. So super fun. So yeah, that's my big rant. That was a long rant. I ranted for a long time. It's actually not that bad. I thought that was going to go way longer. But yeah, that's so cool. So yeah, in to wrap it all kind of up in a nice bow, is you never know where it's going to take you. It is definitely all consuming, but in the best, most diverse kind of way, because I think you can get to a lot of other really cool places through model horses, because maybe you'll become like a world famous saddle maker because you made model horse saddles and you're like, this is really cool, I'm going to scale it up. Maybe you'll come up with the newest genetic color for some sort of breed because you're a model horse person and you are got super involved in genetics. You never know. Maybe you'll be the next artist for Brey. You never know. Hi, sweetheart. Oh, the Nasho's been in the sun. He's warm. So yeah, that is the thing. It has also been my hyperfixation, so I will not trouble you guys with another hyperfixation, because I've been enjoying diving into the world of making tiny little tassels and beaded things, because it is endlessly fascinating and shiny. These aren't trimmed up nice, but it's kind of cool. And I'm like, I don't have a lot of hobby money myself to do hobby stuff with. I'm very limited on what I can buy for models and resins and other stuff. A lot of stuff that I get, I trade to acquire. And so things like me going out and buying, like I try and support where I can. I have some customs made by some people and things. But especially right now, economically, it's hard for us too, to try and scrape by and make sure that we can make all of our ends meet, because that's the thing, which is a whole other linguistic rabbit hole. But yeah, so I was like, oh, I really like all these pretty tack things, but I'm gonna have to make them myself. And then that turned into I actually really enjoy making these things. So I'm glad that I did, because the tack thing is kind of fun. So if you haven't adventured out, or you're feeling a little burnt out, I would highly suggest that you take the opportunity of BreyerFest coming up and explore within the hobby, because there might be something that just lights your soul on fire and lights you up as a being, and you love it, you enjoy it, and it makes you love the hobby more. And then it's like, so win-win. Lizzie says hi, Nash. Amy says hi, Nash. He's like, I am back in the sun. So that is good. All right. Well, I guess on that note, I won't keep you guys very much longer. Well, and it's funny too. I would make one more aside. I didn't think I could do writing stuff, and now I'm doing like random writing and really enjoying that too. So you never know what outside things that the hobby might take you to. The normal art and the writing and the more fantastical, just so many ways. I could talk about this for like 500 years. So yeah, drop in the comments what nichey thing you found or what area you thought was really cool with the depth that you didn't imagine that was there, like these deep rabbit holes. Maybe it will give me my next thing that I need to like chase down. So type in the rabbit holes in the comments because I would love to go chase more rabbits. I might have a rabbit chasing problem. Or like a random skill that you learned at like even in the hobby that transfers outside or outside that transferred into the hobby in a really cool way. Like a lot of the scale model stuff and the dolls and things like that are really really cool too. So we need more toys, and this will help everybody. We'll all just get new things we can go dive down and enjoy. So yeah. On that note, I will let you guys go. I will be in touch with my club members very shortly here and people who ordered Gary. And I will keep working on cool stuff for you for BreyerFest release because that is coming up so quick. And if you are doing anything for BreyerFest, I am praying for you and sending you good vibes that everything gets done on time and that your stress level is manageable. Try not to overdose on coffee or anything else for that matter, even plastic ponies. It is all worth it when you get to be fast and you get to enjoy ponies with awesome other people who enjoy ponies and just fill your soul for the year. Like, wash it. It's awesome. So yeah, on that note, I love you guys. Don't be trolls, and we'll see you next time. Next Sunday, probably. I will be here with bells on, maybe with peaks on things. All right. Love you guys.